Hello folks, welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of the 6.5 Grendel shooting a 90 grain Speer TNT. So I go back to part 1 to see that before you move on. Today we're using a different powder and a different primer, and you'll see the results. So hang on folks, let's get to shooting. Okay folks, here we go with the 6.5 Grendel shooting the 90 grain TNT. Just like before, I'm only going to show you the last 3 shots of each. First with the 20 inch and then followed up with my 24 inch rifle. There is a method to my madness. I've got 5 specific situations that I try to deal with anytime that I'm working up loads, reloading, and shooting. Number 1 is I set reasonable goals. What are the goals that I have for this rifle and for this ammunition? Number 2 is what expectations do I have? Let's get reasonable here and not try to get crazy. And number 3 is what are the results of my shooting session and my reloading session that is actually measurable, which brings up the last 2 and most important points. Number 1 is precision. Precision simply means what is the velocity, what is the standard deviation, what is the extreme spread. The standard deviation, extreme spread, you're trying to get low numbers so that you get repeatable and consistent results. Then last and most important is accuracy. But as I explained before, sometimes people get those things mixed up. Accuracy is simply point of aim, point of impact. If it's the bullseye I'm shooting at, I expect to hit the bullseye. And that's the last thing that I change on this rifle with the scope. Alright, so you're only going to see the last 3 of each. Let's go ahead and get to shooting. Okay, this is my last 3 shots with the 20 inch. The expectations were to get to hopefully around 2850 with this rifle. It looks like I'm going to be a little bit short of that. But again, I went with lower loads this time than I did last time with the benchmark. But anyway, here's the last 3 shots. Target cam should be on down there. I'm going to be shooting the left-hand target, lower right. .2836. .2805. .2824. Average 2825. Standard deviation of 20. Extreme spread 51. So that wasn't as good as the second setup, which had an average of 2750, but I had an SD of 5 and an extreme spread of 8. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch over to the 24 inch now and get on with this. Okay, as promised, here's the last 3 shots in my 24 inch. I just went up 3/10 of a grain because I wanted to keep these velocities lower than the first video to see if that makes any difference. Even with a different powder and a different primer, I did go at least 2 grains below the listed max in the Speer book, and that is being reflected by these speeds. So here we go, the last 3 shots. I also adjusted my scope, so the point of aim, point of impact should be or at least a point of impact, should be different than the previous two. But no matter what, we'll take a look at this target and analyze it after these 3 shots. Here we go. It'll be the right-hand target, lower right. $29.49. $29.50. Looks like a pretty good group, and that was $29.35. Alright, so let's go analyze that target. Okay, let's go over these numbers. On the left is the 20-inch Grendel, on the right is the 24. Okay, so lower powder charges gave the expected results. The average was 26.95, an SD of 17, extreme spread of 30, and that's probably every bit of an inch group, maybe even a little bit bigger. Okay, then just 0.3 of a grain higher, 27.39, but a great SD of 5, a great extreme spread of 8, and that's probably every bit of an inch. Again, that's not a bad group for that rifle for the 20-inch. Okay, then we went up to 27.75, an SD of 20, extreme spread of 78, and that's also about a 1-inch group. So all in all, I think this is a better combination, even though it's a lower velocity. But I'll have to double check against the benchmark powder versus the Pro Varmint, because again, I did not go, I was a full 2 grains below the listed max on the Pro Varmint. Okay, so now let's move over to the 24-inch, because the 24-inch shoots really good. Alright, first 28.65, so you can see about 160 feet per second faster than the 20-inch, an SD of 11, extreme spread of 22, and that's probably a half-inch group there. Okay, then the next one, 28.52, an extreme spread of 36 and standard deviation of 18, but there's 2 in 1 hole, and that's probably under a ½ inch group. Okay, then the final shot, 29.42 was the average, actually a little bit less than the previous load. But for some reason the standard deviation went down, extreme spread went to 14, and that's probably a 3/4 inch group. So I hope this helped you folks. Again, this is inconclusive, but I do have 2 good powders and 2 good load developments to work on, and now I need to work on accuracy. Alright, thanks so much for watching. If you like this, folks, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and I do like to respond to comments. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, but no matter what, God bless you all, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.